Cool, we roll.
Boom. Yeah. So we were discussing the limitations of the average man. You know, the limitations of the average human being. Yeah. And we were discussing, like, a lot of blockers, you know what I mean? A lot of blockers in terms of how people process information. And, like, people are smart. This is what... We might have said this on the podcast before. Almost everyone has the base level intelligence to have learned shit and to be a kind of person that other people in Western society would be like, oh, wow, you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has the ability.
We all start with the same stats.
Yes.
Right? Baby human is the same as every baby.
Yeah, like, fairly close. Like, obviously there's autism, psychopathy, there's different things that come into it, but, like, most people, the really complicated ideas of humanity, our theories on consciousness, or our sort of basic, the gist of quantum mechanics and really complicated things, I would say 90% of the population is well within, like, they definitely have the ability to understand all that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, most people, unless you're really actually limited genetically, mentally, you can totally understand, like, the more complicated ideas that humanity has even uncovered.
And we're not saying if you don't, you're not in the 90% of people who can.
No, we're saying they can. Not that they have.
Yeah, not that they have.
They
have the hardware possible.
Yeah.
If they fucking, like, if they had, like, all the information put into their brain, they would understand it.
Yeah, it's not genetic. It's not a genetic thing of, like, oh, you're dumb and this person's smart and that's why this guy knows physics and you don't know physics. Like, no. What was your point? You had made a point.
I was saying earlier, like, there are, like, I think my point was, like, the intelligence is, like, people that, well, actually, the end point of our fucking chat was that most people, like, have the same opinions they have, like, when they're 12, right? They're like the emotional maturity of 12, right? That's fine. 15, emotional maturity 15, etc. Like, as you grow, your, like, emotional maturity grows with you, but your, like, intelligence and, like, universe context, like Earth context, and, like, life context don't, because you need to actually, like, work to figure those things out. And not, like, work, but you need to, like, research a little bit.
Yeah, you need to look into it.
Yeah.
See, we should cover what context means. Like, so...
Like...
We mean... Right?
Yeah.
Like, the general information about how the world works.
Yeah.
And, like, we mean it as vague as that sounds.
Yeah. So, like, for us right now, there are trees around, there's grass, sky.
Technology, other human beings, physics is going on.
Like, when you're sitting in your room, you should be able to fully conceptually understand, how the bed that you're on exists.
Yeah,
right?
how machines work.
How your computer is there, what your phone is made of, how it actually works.
Yeah.
Like,
the basics.
Right?
Yeah.
You should know.
Oh, magnets. How do they work? You should find out.
Yeah, figure out how magnets work, motherfucker.
You should look into it. It's not that complicated. Like,
it's just, it's worth a Google.
Yeah.
You know?
There's only, I'll run through a quick list, right? There's only 4 things that you have to know to understand everything. That is the weak and strong nuclear forces, gravity, and electromagnetism. If you just look into those 4 things, the 4 forces that make up all of physics, not that complicated, I assure you. Like, if you read that shit, if you just research that, you will have a baseline understanding of all physics.
Yeah.
Like, and it's ridiculous that they don't have a class on that, or anything.
Yeah,
like,
why isn't there, like, there should be a class where it's literally, like, you go there and they just teach you, like, what is actually happening around you.
Yeah, what's happening around you. That should be a class. And it's not. Yeah. And most people don't care what's happening around them. Like, you know,
because they're, like, thinking about Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah, like, I bring up this example. I remember I once was saying to someone that I was with, I was like, the Earth moves, the way that the Earth turns, it goes east 2 kilometers every second, right? So every second, you're moving 2Ks. You're moving so fucking quickly through space. And I was saying this, I was just explaining, like, yeah, you go 2Ks east every second. And then someone was like, I don't care. No one cares about that. That was the actual response that I got from one of my friends. And I was like, you're dumb. You're a dingus.
Listen,
Yeah.
unfortunately, if you feel like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't care, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have got some blockers.
Yeah.
Figure out your priorities. Figure out what actually matters to you and why.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't understand the world around you. That should be a priority.
Yeah. Like for us, for me and Oscar here, we always felt like we wanted to know what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, gravity, how does that work? Light, what is light? What are atoms? How does it work?
Yeah.
What is biology? What is evolution? What is, like, you know, these are important questions, like, objectively.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, you should not be the kind of person who doesn't care whether or not they understand things. Because understanding things is important. That's a very basic...
And nothing else in your life genuinely, like, probably is... Well, I gotta say, actually, before I say that, you know, everyone, you remember the Buddhist pods, okay, fan? Remember that. Like, all of your feelings and emotions are kind of illusions.
Yep.
And you need to push past those, right? To somewhere where you feel comfortable, right? Like, it's not saying that you don't need, like, emotions. They're very important.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get rid of them.
Yeah, they're not.
You know?
They're never going away.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah, non-negotiable. Your brain has emotions in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got to find a place you're comfortable with, and for me, at least, it's been much easier to find comfort in, like, science.
In
and,
understanding.
Like, objective truths that we have figured out. And objective, you know, we all know.
Because I would say probably 98%, 97%, somewhere up there, of all typical human problems, emotionally, are, like, solvable through basic scientific knowledge. Yeah. Not even therapy. Like, you don't even have to be wise. Like, if you're like, you know, you just... Nihilism. Even though nihilism isn't a good philosophy in many ways.
It helps you get through all the bad ones.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, blah, 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 whatever the typical stupid human things that people worry about are, like, just, you're a monkey, man. Like...
And you know what, this advice probably isn't true for everyone, but, like, be a nihilist so that you can get through nihilism and get happy.
Nihilism, it's a stepstone. It's a stepping stone. And not necessarily, but it helps. Like, if you're...
It has a lot of good messages when you review them. Like,
especially
when you take all the emotion out of it. The messages are like, don't worry. Like, nothing you do matters in the sense that it doesn't intrinsically actually matter. Like, it's okay that your girlfriend broke up with you.
Yeah, it doesn't even... If you died tomorrow, it would be fine.
Yeah, it's okay that you died. Like, it does... That's all it's trying to say.
Yeah,
It's not like... It's not like the weight of the world rests upon every decision you do.
And, like, that's a very important point. Your decisions in your life really are small. That's freeing in a lot of ways. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of pressure that humans put on ourselves that is illogical. Like, that is just not... It doesn't make sense to put, like... Oh, well, I'm gonna leave this kind of life, and I'm gonna have a legacy, and I'm gonna... All of that is stupid, because you're a monkey. Like...
Facts.
Yeah. And so is everyone else. Like, shouldn't worry about what other people think either, because they are also monkeys. You shouldn't worry what your monkey brain thinks or what other people's monkey brain thinks. I would say I'd narrow it down to biology. If there's one thing you could learn in your life, it would be...
Biology's more helpful for how it actually relates to you.
You're a biological being, and so is everyone you'll ever know or care about.
Yeah.
Like
we already know a lot about how a human functions. So, like, with science, we know, like, why we're doing all this shit that we're doing in the world today. We just don't talk about it, because people don't want to, like, hear it.
Learn about chimps. Learn about how chimps' brains are very similar to ours, and are different in, like, specific ways. Like, learn about how you're just a monkey, man. Like...
You know, you're a nice capuchin, you know? Like, capuchins, you know... You're a capuchin. Realize that you look at a capuchin, it decides whether it wants, like, berries or, like, a banana.
It hangs around, it eats, it fucks, it has fun, it does the normal... That's the same things you do.
And it has the same emotions as you, probably.
Yeah. Oh, almost certainly. It feels like jealousy and hope and, like, emotions that are typically considered to be, like, very human-specific, like, you know...
By media, which is false.
You know, like, pride. I guarantee you monkeys feel pride and jealousy and hopelessness and depression, and they feel insecurity. They feel the same.
Guaranteed. That's how social stuff works.
Yeah,
they're social creatures.
They're running off the same instincts as we.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like we put a lot of that to bed.
You know, I might clip some of that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know what I would call it. You know, our guide to understanding. Like, or our emphasis on the importance of understanding. Like, I don't know. Like...
Would you want to record shorter clips?
We could do shorter clips. Like, I don't know. This is 10 minutes. We could do this fine. This is a 10-minute one. This is a clip.
This is a test 10-minute clip.
10-minute podcast. Not sponsored.
Not
affiliated.
Not affiliated.
Not official title. Okay.
No.
We love you, babies.
Fuck you.